Hey there, brave souls and seekers of the unknown. Welcome to a special Halloween edition of Friday Night Frights on my YouTube channel, It Gets Creepy. I'm your guide into the supernatural tonight, and we've got a spectacular, eerie location for you, the West Point Lighthouse on Prince Edward Island. Let's just say the atmosphere here could cut glass, it's so tense. But rest assured, I'm not wandering these haunted corridors alone. My trusty producer and sound engineer Keaton is on deck to ensure we capture every spine-tingling moment. So why this lighthouse, you ask? Well, prepare yourselves. This isn't your run-of-the-mill haunted locale. We're talking a legacy steeped in lore, enigmatic occurrences, and even apparitions that have been said to roam these halls. Are you ready to peel back the layers of legend and get your pulse racing? Okay, listeners, let's get into the nitty-gritty details, shall we? West Point Lighthouse isn't just a lighthouse. It's an emblem of history, an architectural marvel, and let's not forget, a spine-chilling cauldron of ghostly occurrences. Now, most lighthouses have a kind of regal aura to them, like grand old men standing watch over the tempestuous sea. But the West Point Lighthouse, dating all the way back to 1875, brings that to a whole other level. Situated on Prince Edward Island, this stately structure boasts an imposing facade that's unlike any other lighthouse you've ever seen. With its eye-catching black and white design, this edifice serves as a remarkable landmark, a signpost at the crossroads between the natural world and the world of myth and mystery. If you think I'm laying it on thick, let me tell you, I'm standing right here, and the vibes in this place, they're far more unsettling than my words could ever convey. The landscape around here only amplifies the atmosphere. Imagine, if you will, the Atlantic Ocean stretches as far as the eye can see, its waves engaged in a ceaseless, undulating dance, a ballet choreographed by the forces of nature and performed to an audience of gulls and salty mist. But the physical allure of this place is just one facet of its myriad charms. You see, this lighthouse is not only a beacon for ships lost at sea, it's also a beacon for those of us lost in our insatiable curiosity about the paranormal. The place serves dual purposes. It's not just a forlorn tower on a cliff. It's an interactive museum, a living, breathing testament to the people who have cared for it through the decades and centuries. It's a monument to the very essence of human endeavor. So, while you're here, you can immerse yourself in maritime history. You can examine artifacts that offer a tangible link to the past. You can step into a world where time seems to flow differently, where each tick of the clock resonates with echoes of times gone by. And when you do, when you walk these halls, remember that you're walking through a catalog of human experiences, a museum of emotions and aspirations. Now we venture beyond the realm of mere history, stepping cautiously into the corridors of legend and folklore. And oh, what corridors they are, laden with an atmosphere so thick you could slice it with a knife. You see, this lighthouse didn't just serve as a home to William Anderson MacDonald and Benny McIsaac, but as a fortress for their spirits, a repository for their hopes, dreams, and, perhaps, their lingering regrets. First, let's talk about William Anderson MacDonald, or as the locals like to call him, the Keeper. A man whose devotion to his duties surpassed mere professional commitment and edged into the realm of the spiritual, the ethereal. This was a man whose very essence seemed to merge with the wood and stone that make up this towering structure. Imagine being so tied to a place that even death itself couldn't sever the connection. William, or the Keeper, roams these echoing hallways and winding stairwells as if forever tethered to this mortal coil. His spirit, by accounts of those who've had the inexplicable fortune or misfortune to encounter it, lingers in the nooks and crannies of this building like a haunting melody. He's an apparition that defies simple categorization, a presence that serves as a spectral custodian of this historical edifice. As for Benny McTisaac, while his spirit doesn't figure as prominently in the ghostly tales that envelop this place, his presence too is a significant chapter in the overall narrative of the West Point Lighthouse. Together, these two men form a diptych of living history and haunting mythology, a fusion that gives this lighthouse its unique, indelible character. Trust me as I meander through this sanctum of both the real and the unreal, the line between the two blurs in the most inexplicable of ways. So, are you ready to dive even deeper, to confront the shadows that lurk around every corner, to descend into a realm where your every step might be accompanied by those of unseen feet? Because if you are, then you're in for a thrill like no other. All right, guys, this is where things start to get really intense. I'm walking through the lighthouse, and it's like the very air is charged. It's more than just the creaking of old wood underfoot or the rustle of wind outside. It feels like I'm walking through a cloud of emotion, like each room I step into has its own distinct personality, and none of them seem happy to see me. I've just entered what would have been William MacDonald's domain, his own private sanctuary where he'd carry out his nightly duties. The temperature just dropped like I stepped into a freezer, but it's not just physical cold. It's like the room is sending a warning, a stay-away signal that makes the hairs on my neck stand up. Maybe it's the keeper himself, William MacDonald, reacting to an uninvited guest. Or maybe it's my own senses kicking into overdrive. Either way, the line between the living and the otherworldly is starting to blur. Okay, my thrill, seekers and lore, lovers, the time has come to truly immerse ourselves in this haunting locale. Every step I take through the corridors and rooms feels weighted, as if I'm traversing a cobweb of lingering energies. When historians talk about places where the past comes alive, this is what they mean. Except here, alive may not be the best choice of words. As I walk, the floorboards beneath me vocalize their own discomfort with groans and creaks. And can I just say, it's not your typical house settling noise? No, these creaks sound almost orchestrated, as if trying to communicate in a Morse code of unease and warning. The walls, adorned with flaking paint and vintage photographs, seem to silently share the lighthouse's long and complicated history. A history where the barrier between the mortal world and the spirit realm is, to put it lightly, porous. I'm now standing in the space that would have been William MacDonald's territory, his sanctum sanctorum, where he devoted his life to the maritime safety of others. The temperature just plunged as if I've crossed an invisible boundary into an Arctic zone. But this is no ordinary cold. It's a cold that gnaws at the soul, an icy aura that feels almost defensive, as if warding off intruders. Am I the intruder? I can't help but wonder if this is MacDonald's spiritual residue, cautioning me against prying too deeply into the mysteries of his afterlife. But you know me, I'm not one to shy away from the inexplicable or the unsettling. Whether this coldness is a projection of William MacDonald or perhaps my own heightened senses, I can't say. But the sense of unease grows with each second I spend in this room. What's most unsettling, however, is the realization that the divide between the living and the non-living seems to be disintegrating. It's as if the veil between our world and whatever exists beyond it is thinning, becoming increasingly.
We are experiencing technical difficulties. Please stand by.
Night Angel, we have a problem. The audio levels, they're going haywire. Try to find the issue. Damn, now the recording deck's messing up. I think I might need to reboot the laptop. I don't get it. It's like it's short-circuited or something.
Please stand by.
Hey, are you feeling okay?
That's weird, Keaton. Right when you just said that, I've got this overwhelming sense of dread. Like we've triggered something or someone.
Please stand by.
William MacDonald's not so happy about us being here after all. Do you think we can fix the equipment?
I'm working on it, but it's strange. The malfunction just doesn't make sense. I mean, this is top-end gear.
Please stand by.
Field recording. I'm sure it could withstand a lot far worse conditions. Wait. Did you hear that? It sounded like footsteps in the room. But
Please stand by.
I'm not hearing anything in my headset. It's not coming from the audio feed. It's like it's within the room. But there's no one here with us.
Oh no. I've heard paranormal
Please stand
entities
by.
affecting electrical devices before. But the footsteps, that's new.
Thank you for your patience. We have resumed our
Folks,
program.
I'm still here, using the mic, and I'm hoping you can hear our feed. Are you hearing this as well? If so, it means we've managed to restore the recording, but right now, I think we're not alone. Let's quickly regroup, Keaton, and figure out our next steps.
Okay, I've managed to stabilize the audio for now, but I'm not sure how long it's going to last. These disruptions, they're just beyond anything I've encountered.
Thanks, Keaton. Listeners, if we abruptly go silent, know that we're doing everything we can to fix the situation. Thank you for sticking it out with us tonight. We're walking a fine line between our world and the unknown, and it's becoming increasingly difficult to ignore the signs that we're stirring the pot. Should we keep going? Yes, the explorer in me says we must. But we're also here to respect the stories and the spirits tied to this place.
Okay, I've managed to stabilize the audio for now, but I'm not sure how long it's going to last.
We think it's best to abort this mission and get the heck out of this lighthouse. Safety first, right? But before we go, I want to try one last thing, a direct call to William MacDonald, the keeper. I know, Keaton, but we owe it to ourselves and our listeners to push the boundaries. Here goes. Okay, this is it, everyone. We're going for broke now. I've got to say, my heart's pounding like a drum, but we can't leave without attempting one final interaction. So here we are, standing in what could very well be the spiritual epicenter of the West Point Lighthouse. Did you all hear that? The room's just gone pitch black, and I swear I felt a hand cold as the grave brush against my arm. And yeah, I agree, Keaton. The energy here is off the charts. It feels like something's been agitated, like the air's thick with a mix of anticipation and, dare I say, resentment. Let me just set the scene for our listeners. We're enveloped in an all-encompassing darkness, punctuated only by the sporadic flicker of Keaton's flashlight. It feels like we've descended into the abyss, a place where the divide between this world and the next is tissue paper thin. All right, it's time to make contact. William MacDonald, if you're here, we ask you to reveal yourself. We come in peace, not to intrude, but to understand.
Leave this place.
We need to leave now.
Okay, listeners, we've made it outside, and the night has never looked so welcoming. And the further we get, the more it feels like an invisible weight is lifting off our shoulders. I've been to many haunted places before, but I must say, this experience is unlike any other. It's as if the lighthouse, or rather William MacDonald, had a message for us, a warning perhaps to tread carefully when exploring the boundaries between our world and theirs. This experience has been as enlightening as it was terrifying. You know, the line between curiosity and invasion is often blurred when we talk about paranormal investigations, and tonight I feel like we've learned a lesson in respect. We came here seeking stories from the other side, and I think we got exactly that. Only it was a story we weren't fully prepared to hear. We made it, night crawlers. We survived the enigmatic labyrinth that is West Point Lighthouse. Our equipment's back on, and so is our resolve to keep exploring the unknown. Tonight has been a powerful experience, not just for us, but hopefully for you as well. We're all in this journey of discovery together, trying to push the boundaries of what we know and understand. But tonight's events have also given me pause. They've shown me the importance of balancing our natural curiosity with a healthy dose of respect and humility. In our quest for the unknown, we can't lose sight of the responsibility that comes with venturing into realms that don't wholly belong to us. Whether it was the malfunctioning equipment, the mysterious footsteps, or that otherworldly wind, something was telling us we were on the cusp of trespassing into territory we weren't prepared for. We listened and we retreated. And that, my friends, is a lesson we should all take to heart. As we prepare to say our goodbyes, I'd like to reflect on what these experiences teach us about ourselves and the world we inhabit. We are complex beings, drawn like moths to the flame of the unknown, but we must remember that our actions have consequences. As we delve into mysteries, we must tread carefully, always mindful of the energies and entities we might be disturbing. The enigma of William MacDonald, the Keeper, serves as a cautionary tale, a poignant reminder that some mysteries are perhaps best left unexplored, or at least approached with a level of reverence and caution that does justice to their profound complexity. So, what's next for us? More explorations, more questions, and hopefully more answers. Tonight's adventure has shown us that courage doesn't always mean pushing forward. Sometimes it means knowing when to step back. As we bid you farewell this Halloween, remember, the world is a strange and mysterious place filled with wonders and terrors alike. I am Night Angel, signing off until our next eerie adventure. Good night and stay creepy, but above all, stay respectful of the mysteries that so beguilingly beckon us forward. Tonight's story has been a work of fiction created for the YouTube channel It Gets Creepy. Thank you for your support of our Halloween 2023 special on Friday Night Frights.
Happy Halloween.